Broadcasting live from the Cobb Galleria Center for SOAHR 2022, it's time for North Fulton Business Radio, brought to you by Renaissance Bank. Now, here's your host.
And hello, folks. John Ray again here with you at SOAHR 2022, the annual conference of SHRM-Atlanta. It's been a lot of fun today, and we've got another great guest. Stephanie Cantillo is with us, and Stephanie is president-elect of SHRM-Atlanta. Awesome. Stephanie, welcome.
Thank you, John.
Hey, it's great to have you here.
It's great to be here.
Let's talk a little bit about your work and what you bring to SHRM-Atlanta and the volunteer work now you're doing for SHRM-Atlanta.
Certainly. So I've been a member and volunteer with SHRM-Atlanta since 2015, and played a number of different roles and served in a lot of different committees and really kind of grown up in this community. I was brand new to HR and sort of found my family, my HR family.
Yeah.
So SHRM-Atlanta is really an amazing group of folks, business leaders as well as HR and people managers. So my role now is as president-elect, and I help represent the membership, represent the organization, whether we're at a conference in another city or we're collaborating with other chapters all over the country. So there's over about 575 SHRM chapters all over the country, and SHRM-Atlanta is what's called a mega chapter. So we're one of the largest, and I get to represent us and be in service of an organization that I really love and believe in the mission. And then my day job, I get to work for a consulting firm. We do compensation work. So we're helping organizations and business leaders really think through their compensation structure, do market analysis, bonus structure, lots of complicated decisions that involve people. And so that's my day job, and I just started 3 weeks ago. So I'm very excited to.
Wow.
Yes, I used to be an HR practitioner. I was an HR manager and chief HR officer, and now I'm on the consulting side. So
good for you.
Thank you.
And the name of the firm is ThreePoint Consulting.
ThreePoint Consulting.
Got it. And wow, that must be a very complex set of issues with inflation and the Great Resignation. I'm tired of that phrase already.
Yes.
You probably are too, right? But all the different issues that are going to affect compensation.
Absolutely.
A lot for HR leaders to think about. What are some of the big picture issues that you try to help your clients think about when it comes to that?
Sure. So many of our clients are HR leaders who are trying to present to their leadership team not only the need to look at their compensation structure, but also the budget that it's going to take to make some changes.
Yep.
So some of the issues we come up against and we're trying to help our clients work through, of course, is making the business case to the leaders, but also trying to dig into the market data. So do they have job descriptions that accurately reflect what their workers actually do? And then how do we find the best comparisons in the market when we're trying to match salaries? And then going back to them with an explanation of the data and what we found in a way that makes sense and is applicable and they can understand and actually apply it and implement it. So we also help them through the change management process, not just here's the information, goodbye, good luck, but really walking them through actually implementing it, and because you're dealing with money, we look at benefits as well sometimes if the clients want us to, and benchmarking, best practices for benefits across the country. But you're dealing with people's income and their money and bonus structures and very complicated, structures at times. And so the company culture plays a role in that, in how they get the messaging out, in how what is the process of change management and implementing the changes. So those are some of the issues we come up against. But obviously, like you mentioned, inflation. Yeah. A very common one we're hearing right now is we are having to hire people in at a higher rate than our existing employees.
Oh, dear.
And how do you deal with that?
Right.
how do you deal with that?
Right.
And how can you justify that to your leaders? And what do you tell people? What's your messaging? How transparent can you be?
Mm-hmm.
So it gets really tricky really quickly, but we're there to help navigate the complexity of it.
Yeah, and you mentioned a key thing there is the change management piece of it. That may be the hardest part of it, right? Coming up with the answers is one thing. Yes. Implementing the answers is a whole nother deal, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, wow. What great work. So let's get back to SHRM-Atlanta and just talk about the conference here and what you're seeing. And I mean, this is the culmination of a lot of work.
Yes.
On you and Jason and Samira and all the leaders of SHRM.
Yes. So the SHRM-Atlanta team, they are phenomenal. And basically, as soon as one SOAR ends, they start planning for the next one.
Yep.
And our next one will be actually in March of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And we already know the date and location. But,
that's great.
SOAR is really an opportunity for not only Atlanta area, but sometimes HR practitioners and vendors from across the country to come together, be all in one place, connect, network, and get re-energized. As an previous HR practitioner for a number of years, it can be exhausting work. And for us to be able to come together and have a space where there's like-minded folks, you see your friends, you're in the trenches together, and you can really get inspired, re-inspired about why you do the work you do, why you love HR, why you fell into HR in the first place. So that's what SOAR is about. Also listening to thought leaders in our field, sharing best practices, having fun. I don't know if you were here this morning, but the keynote speaker, Cassandra Worthy, around change enthusiasm. I mean, just so dynamic, so much energy. So to be able to start your day with that is really great. I always love these conferences. That's
great. And, one of the things about the SHRM-Atlanta conferences like SOAR is just how much people enjoy each other.
Yes.
Right? I mean, and you've got so many long-term members like you. You've been involved with the organization for 10 years, and people are just so delighted to be back together and with each other and to share what they've learned, right?
Yes, we really are like a family. For people who are new to SHRM-Atlanta, I used to do new member onboarding. So I would kind of give them a sense of, all right, you've joined this organization. Here's what to expect. Here's who to know, and here's how to navigate. And I would tell them, don't be alarmed if you get a lot of hugs, because we're very close-knit, almost like a family community. We really support each other. We're there for each other. We're committed to this work, and we're committed to doing the best we can, and that involves, sharing best practices amongst a community of practitioners. We might be in totally different fields or doing different roles, but if you have a question, call me up and let's talk about it. So people are really able to leverage their network. And I've made lifelong, personal and professional friends through SHRM-Atlanta.
Wow. That's what a... Folks, it doesn't get any better than that. If you're an HR professional and you're not involved in SHRM-Atlanta, you got to figure it out, right? You got to get involved.
Yes,
right? Because there's so many ways to connect and to learn and grow.
Yes, we offer, year-round opportunities, not only to, network and be in community, but also professional development, lots of learning and growth opportunities. We also volunteer together out in the community as Team SHRM-Atlanta. So we're giving back to our community as well, whether it's resume building or helping folks practice for interviewing, building those interview skills, helping folks to build up their LinkedIn profile. Mm-hmm. So we're not only pouring into each other, but we also work together as a team to pour into the community.
That's awesome. So you're president-elect, which means your term is coming.
Yes.
Which means we're looking forward with you, right? So talk about what you see, some of the goals that you have for your term as president of SHRM that's upcoming. And I guess that's going to start at the beginning of 2023?
Yes, January.
Okay, awesome. So talk about some of the goals you have in mind to further the great work in this organization?
Certainly. So I'll be working alongside a new chair of our board as well. So she'll be taking her term at the same time I do.
And for those that don't know, who's that's going to be? Or have we announced that yet?
I don't know if it's been announced
Okay,
yet.
let's don't say that.
Actually, I've only met her on Zoom. We haven't met face-to-face yet.
Okay,
but,
cool.
So, her and I and Jason, so my role is really threefold, I see it. It's being a member of the board, helping them to understand what is the viewpoint and the needs of our membership and of the other volunteer leaders, and what are the main concerns and issues, within the HR community. Mm-hmm. And the second piece is supporting, Jason and his team and the full-time staff who work for SHRM-Atlanta.
Gotcha.
And helping inform them as well, because they are not HR practitioners. That is not their background. They're coming in as folks who are managing and leading an association mm-hmm. in service to HR practitioners. So helping them understand the viewpoint of somebody who does HR. And then thirdly, and probably most importantly, is serving the members. So helping them feel like they have a voice, helping them, have somebody to come to if they have ideas or suggestions, or if they want to volunteer and get more involved. So I see my role as, an ambassador, a cheerleader, somebody who's supporting, of course, listening, and I just wholeheartedly love the organization. So I'm happy to be part of it.
That's awesome. Well, I love the enthusiasm you have.
Thank you.
Stephanie. That's great. Well, let's get to the most important question, which is for those that want to be in touch, that have some of those ideas, yes. maybe they want to share,
please,
or feedback. How can they get in touch with you?
So the website is SHRM-Atlanta.org.
Mm-hmm. Terrific. Stephanie Cantillo, folks, and she's with 3Point Consulting, and she's the president-elect of SHRM-Atlanta. Stephanie, this has been fun and informative. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, John.
Absolutely.